His Business 1110.
The following program, paid for by Right Path Real Estate, does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station. It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guy that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Mics are hot.
Welcome to the show. Daniel Gollinger, Right Path Real Estate Radio. Tom Perry is not in studio this morning. He's dealing with some orthodontic visits with his daughter. She's possibly getting her braces off today, so he's handling that. I am here, going to be joined live with Ashley Patten on the call-in line. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask about title during this first segment, you can call 713-785-1817. And let's get those questions in for one of the best in the business, if not the best in the business. Let's go ahead and plug Ashley in.
Hey, good morning, Daniel. How you doing today?
Man, I am doing absolutely wonderful, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's nice to be on the show with you.
Absolutely. Glad to be able to do this. And, you and I have gotten to hang out a few times. Obviously not as much as you and Tom, but, we spent the time. We were doing the Dallas event and got to know each other pretty good there. And, it's just, Tom talks a lot about team and surrounding himself with people that, raise his average and things like that. And it's very easy to see why he chooses you to be one of those people in his circle of five. So it's a pleasure for me to be on here with you today. And let's talk about some real estate. Tell me what's been going on in your world.
Well, basically, business has been picking up, steadily. So it's market's good. It's the flood houses are finally starting to turn, which really is just for the longest time.
Yeah,
there was a question whether the equity would hold up those flood houses, but it's it's amazing how short term people think or people realize that Harvey was more than a year ago, but a lot of people think that Harvey was like 10 years ago.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, Ashley, it almost feels like it was. I mean, I can remember I was doing acquisitions for a guy at the time right after Harvey, and I can remember spending my days in those neighborhoods, and I mean coming home and just being sick to my stomach and feeling so bad. And it feels like a lifetime ago now, but it's amazing to me. If you take out probably 3 specific neighborhoods that haven't recovered and may never recover, the rest of the market as a whole, I can tell you that I sold flood houses in some neighborhoods for more than they were worth pre-Harvey. That's how crazy this market's been. And you're right. I think people do have a short-term memory when it comes to things like that. But I also think that the market's not going to allow us to remember that very long. We just don't have the supply to let us dwell on that. It's people need a place to live.
Right.
So
speaking of supply,
yeah, go ahead.
What do you think the average home price is going to do in Houston in the next 2 or 3 years?
I'll be honest with you, man. I think it crosses 300. I think we're at about 228, 232, something like that now.
Right.
I think in the next 3 years, if we're not over 300, we're real close to it.
And do you expect a downturn anytime? Because everybody keeps talking about the bubble hitting.
I personally, in some markets nationally, I can definitely see that happen where places, where they're getting, 10, 12% appreciation a month or, 5, 6% appreciation a month, 30 a year, things like that. We're experiencing some appreciation here, but it's supported by the market. It's not just run away because there's too much money in the market. I think we're supported by the jobs. We're supported by the supply and demand of the houses. I think as long as we have the jobs that are causing the demand for the houses, our appreciation is safe. It's when you have that appreciation that's being hyped up because of over entry of money to the market, when too many people, a lot of those northwestern cities and things like that, when Canada shut down that Chinese money, a lot of that money pumped in over there, and it caused the appreciation to just hyperinflate, and it's going crazy over there. And I believe that's going to, Canada had a crash because of that. And I believe at some point it's very likely that happens over there too. But I don't think our appreciation here is caused by the inflow of money. I mean, we've got money coming in from California, and there's some Chinese and hedge fund money and all that stuff here too. But it's manageable, and it's supported, I believe, by our job market and our growth. And we've got Dot Tower coming, this month to Jet Lending, and when you listen to him talk, man, we've got 10 or 15 years before we can think about a downturn.
See, that's awesome. That's exciting, actually.
It really is. I mean, I'm one of those people. I believe that now is I tell my kids, right. There's biologically, you've got a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being a human, as opposed to any other species on this planet. So just being born as a human, you've already won the lottery, right? And not only that, but we are in the what I believe with the internet and the market and things now, we're in the best era of opportunity that the world's ever seen. My grandparents did not have the choices that I have. Your grandparents did not have the choices to do what you really want to do in life the way we do now. And on top of all that, we're in the greatest country in the world, and I believe as far as real estate goes, we're in the best city for that in this country. So I mean, what a great time to be a Houstonian in real estate.
I couldn't agree more. And say, I like your biological analogy about, you said 1 in 420.
1 in 400 trillion. That's like hitting the lottery 4 times in one lifetime. And people wake up and complain.
It's about how much the new Green Deal is going to cost.
Yeah.
400 trillion.
You're right on the money with that. Yeah, so
I don't mean to bring up politics.
No, I'm with you all the way. We try not to get too political, but sometimes it's just hard not to. So I want to brag about you guys a little bit, and I won't get into too many deal specifics, but every now and then in this business you come across a deal, right? And there's complications.
Right.
And most people, and this is nothing against other title companies, because they do what they do and they have a certain skill set. Right? And that skill set gets them so far, and it keeps them so many customers, and they can do so many different kinds of deals. But what I can say about you personally in the shop that you run, and it may not be, everybody in your shop, sometimes it trickles up, right? Hey, this one's going all the way to the top. We've got to get this one fixed, right? So, but for me to not just have that kind of relationship with you and your team, but to know that you're a problem solver. And when you're doing this kind of real estate, it's not your traditional retail real estate. Very often there's problems that need to be solved, and you guys I would say, are the best in the business for solving problems that are normally present in an investment deal, right? So you guys have systems and processes in place for that. But every now and then we get a problem like we had on a property recently. Without getting to all the details, it was a problem that there wasn't a system for. There wasn't a process for. How do we fix this? And we went through 3 or 4 different title companies, and it was finally like, we got to take this to Ashley, right? And so we bring it to you and sit down and figure it out. You and Tom work out the details. We figure out a way to get this thing done. And, I mean, kudos to you guys, because I can tell you there's nothing like what you guys do for the investment community in the city. And I think the sheer number of deals that you guys are processing, and I think you lead the other title companies. I think people are watching what you guys do in the market, and they're trying to emulate that and do what you guys do. And without y'all doing that for this market, I mean, investors are the reason that we were able to recover from Harvey so quickly, right? And it's the Patten Law Firms and folks like you guys supporting the investor side of this business that allow us to do what we do. So in the grand scheme of things, you guys are very important to the reconstruction of this city, and I just want to say thank you for that.
Well, thank you so much. And yeah, it's just a
2 minutes.
Every title company talks about being investor friendly, but the minute you throw sometimes you throw an assignment deal at them, or a double closing, or sometimes you have these files that are wholesaled that may be assigned 7, 8, 9 times by the time they close.
Yes.
And so in a wholesale deal, it's important to remember that you're only getting insurance per the original contract, because whenever a contract is flipped from one party to another, the purchase price may go up, but the coverage stays the same because you're actually closing on that original contract. You're just paying a premium in order to have the ability to buy the property because that's flipped from somebody else.
Yes. Yeah, the insurance it isn't covering every assignment fee that's been tacked on. I had a deal one time that we had signed up for, I want to say it was $5,000 or $6,000, and we were selling it for 70 something. And the investor was a new investor and did not realize he was not insuring his whole $76,000. And he got that policy for $5,000. Was like, man, the title was cheap. Yeah, it was.
1 minute.
The original contract was only $5,000, my man.
and unfortunately, if there was ever a claim on the deal, they had $5,000 worth of coverage.
Yes, that's all you're covered for. That other 71, man. You can't get that back. Now, do you have the option to boost that up if you choose to? If you want to cover it for whatever you're paying for the deal as opposed to the contract purchase price?
Well, you really don't unless you do a refinance,
okay.
And or you could do a construction loan and boost up that way. But there's very few options to boost up later on down the line because you already own the property. It's just like it would be self-serving, where if I have a title defect, I just boost my coverage up, and then you would never sell a title insurance on the go because everybody would wait till they had a defect, and then they would up their policy. So you really can't unilaterally raise it that way.
Got it. Makes sense. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, man, I appreciate you being on the show with me today. I hope we get to do this again soon. I know it's typically Tom in this place, but I had a really good time today, and hope to see you soon. And if there's anything that we can do for you, let us know. I know we've got one or two. We've got one closing there with you guys today, and no, we've got 2 closing today. We've got 2 closing there with you guys today.
So we have 2 closing over here today. Daniel, you've done great. Thank you so much for having me, as always.
Hey, Ashley, I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Mics are off.
Thank you, sir. Brad, how's it going? Nikki, how's it going? Jason, what's up? Raymond, my man from LA, how's it going? Ginger, how are you? Andy, what's going on? Ashley, good morning.
To fund your investment properties, Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible.
Commander
Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair.
Hey man, whenever you don't have the mic on, or whenever you're not talking, can you kind of back away because I'm really picking up your breathing?
Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free.
Thank you.
Feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun,
Maribel.
Lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts. Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353.
Brad, that's awesome.
Or online at
I was telling Bonnie to take a bunch of pictures.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property?
Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Johnny should Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992.
No, we got a minute to come back.
Or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary pier work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties.
You have a best of on standby?
Files is reviewed by a licensed engineer.
No, not on standby, no.
Remember to check before every repair.
You got like less than 10 seconds, dude.
702-3825.
All right, what if you're on top of things?
346-702-3825.
What's it called again? Jet Lending?
Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
This is Business 1110.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves?
Yeah, you're going to have to go on.
Okay, you just went completely. There we go.
Mics are hot.
Welcome back. Daniel Gollinger, Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. We are waiting on calling from Johnny Hayes at Jet Lending. I'm not sure if he maybe had something else going on this morning. Hadn't gotten word, so we'll just keep the show going until he calls in, and if he doesn't, then we'll just keep rocking and rolling. So I'll talk a little bit about Jet Lending. Those guys have been in business for a really long time in Houston. I would say as far as Houston goes, they have. You know what? I didn't switch this last time for Patten. Sorry about that, Facebook folks. I'm learning. As far as Houston goes, I would say that Jet Lending has more experience than probably anybody else in the city. I know Eddie's a home investor, so he's not just lending in real estate; he's doing in real estate. He's running his own real estate business as well as lending to other people. And what I like about Jet Lending is it's very much like those guys at Patten Law Firm. It's having people on your team that can get things done, and it's not the everyday situations that you need to call on the experts for. Do they handle every situation? Yes. And we have people that buy properties from us at Houston House Buyers that use Jet on a regular basis. And we have students that use Jet on a regular basis. But it's when you have an issue or you have something that's not ordinary or something that has a condensed time frame or something that's got a weird appraisal, or it's something that you just really need help determining a value on that nobody else can seem to figure out. It's the expertise that comes from those guys and the sheer amount of time and experience they have in this marketplace that really makes a difference when it comes time to get that complicated deal closed. They've. Can you imagine? Not only doing this business for as long as they've been doing it, but the sheer number of deals they look at on a daily basis. Not just their deals, but deals they loan on. And so you've got to look at the fact that, when you're buying houses, you may, let's say you're buying one out of every 4 houses you go to, right? So you're seeing 4 houses for every deal you do. Then you go over to the loan side, right? And let's say you're looking at 5 or 6 deals for every loan that you do. I don't know what their numbers are exactly, but I can imagine it's not lower than that. It may even be higher. So the expertise comes in the doing. So when you review as many deals as those guys review, when you see as many deals as those guys see, you end up with a different vision of the marketplace that other people don't have. The knowledge in their shop collectively, they understand areas in this marketplace that I don't care if you're doing 10, 15 deals a month by yourself, you will never completely understand a wide variety of market areas in the city the way they do, because they're covering Bear Creek, they're covering Jersey Village, they're covering Pasadena, they're covering Fulshire, they're covering Magnolia. All these different markets and in sub-markets inside those markets, there requires a certain amount of expertise that you can only gain from being in that market, from doing deals in that market, from looking at deals in that market, that at some point you become an expert in that market. And Houston as a whole, it's just not something that one person can do. Not without a team and seeing a really large amount of deals. And that's, we love that about, working with our students. Because, as we're doing deals through the Asset Buyers Club, and our students are doing deals, and we're doing deals through Houston House Buyers, we're getting a lot more experience than we would if it was just on the micro, if it was just us, right? So on a macro level, we're able to see a
Johnny's on the phone.
Awesome. Let's plug him in.
He's on.
Hey, Johnny, how's it going?
Good. How's it going?
Man, I'm absolutely wonderful. I was just sitting here talking you up until you got here.
Well, I know I got caught up in something, and I looked down. I said, "Uh-oh, got to make that phone call."
So what you're saying is you're doing real estate stuff?
Well, that's exactly what we're doing. That's
isn't that amazing?
Makes this life fun.
Yes. That's actually what I was talking about before you got here. Is that not only are you guys doing a extremely large amount of loans and looking at an extremely large amount of deals, but y'all are doing real estate as well.
We are buying, fixing, and flipping every day. That's what makes us what we call dirt smart. We're out there in the field every day.
Dirt smart, I love it.
Looking at what's happening in this area. We're buying, we're holding rentals, we're rehabbing, we're helping new clients, working on new programs that work for everybody to help make them more successful. We've just learned, hey, it's a fun business to be in. It's a great time to be in it, especially in Houston, Texas.
Absolutely. So Ashley and I were talking about that on the first segment. That this is the best time to be in this business in the best city I think that's ever happened before. I mean, aside from when's the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago, right? Now, if you could have bought up a bunch of deals in the 1980 crash, 1986 crash, and all that kind of stuff, but I think in this generation, in this marketplace now, is absolutely the time. So I was talking about the market knowledge that you guys have compared to other lenders who aren't doing as many deals as you guys are doing. Loans, I mean. B, who aren't actually doing real estate themselves. And C, they're not really, one of the unique things about what you guys do, and I love it because it's so necessary for new people in this business, is you guys will put eyes on any deal for anybody at any time. Right?
Yes. Well, we learned if we want to be in this business long term, we got to make sure we put our people in good deals and they understand what the numbers are before they commit to do it.
Yes.
And if we'll do that and make sure we're not just loaning them money to make a fee off of it, we're trying to make these guys successful in real estate investing, especially if they're flipping. We all know what the numbers are. You got to have equity and you got to do those things. And we'll do that for them to make sure they're in good deals. But when you're dealing like right now, we do just as many loans for buy and hold people as our landlords, which those numbers are different because, it's all about, really long-term wealth in there. I can't talk to a guy and tell him he's buying a house 2 houses down from him that he wants to hold as a rental. I got people that pay close to retail for some of their rental properties.
Absolutely.
Because they're in appreciative. They're going to appreciate in the neighborhood. It's convenient for them. It may not need many repairs and be low maintenance. And in the next 10 years, you may have a property that's almost doubled in value, where a renter has paid it off,
yes,
that has good cash flow because interest rates are so low on your refis today still. And when all those things work, as long as somebody will go over all the numbers, explain what's going to happen, then you can make I'd say intelligent decision. Then you decide, do you pull the trigger or not? And luckily over the years, we've kind of focused on programs that have helped the landlord as well as not only just the flipper, because that is a major part of our business as well.
And not only that, Johnny, but the guys that are typically getting in this business early on, they're flipping and doing some things like that because maybe they don't have a whole lot of cash in the beginning, right? But then they get to a point to where they've been flipping for a while. Now they've got some cash, right? Their bills are paid. They want to start building that wealth, right? So you guys are allowing them to maintain that relationship with you as they move beyond flipping in this business. Or as opposed to, hey, if I'm still flipping, I can still stick with Jet, but all my other stuff, I've got to go outside to somebody else. They can do all that there with you guys and know that they can trust that relationship, right?
Well, and a key to the business is, a lot of people tell you you don't need money to be in it, but that's not true. You got to have reserves because that's what keeps you out of trouble.
Yes.
And that's what makes long-term lenders want to loan you money as well as anybody. So, but guess what? We have designed some programs that if you can buy these things low enough, you may not have to have as much reserves because a lot of our alternative financing long-term has allowed some of these landlords that may write off all their income to still get into this business with a no-income doc because it's all based off of the income of the property, not the income of the borrower.
Absolutely. So are y'all seeing any products come up to where y'all are starting to go off of the DSCR instead of just the value of the property and the value or the...
Yeah, we have 3 alternative products that, if we have a landlord that writes all their income off because they have a lot of expenses, then we can go to that refinance instead of a true conventional or a bank portfolio. And it allows those guys to build up, some rental properties. And if you're buying it low enough, we can roll all their closing costs into that.
Oh, man, that's awesome. That is awesome. So just want to give one more shout out. We had a deal. What I like about you guys is I know we're under a minute here, so I'll try to be quick. I had a guy come to me that wanted to buy some properties from us. And, I love sending people over to Rob because when I send somebody to Rob, I know I don't have to follow up. I know I don't have to question, hey, did he take care of them, right? I can just send them. It's like set it and forget it. When I send them to Rob, I know that they're good. But what I really love about you guys is I can take somebody who's scared and who's very new and they want to buy a property from me. I don't have time to hold their hand and walk them through the process. But
we'll walk them right through.
Yeah, and I just send them over to you guys and y'all take care of them. And then, 2 weeks later, we're closing. Everybody's happy. It's a win-win. And I really appreciate you guys for that and look forward to continue to work with you guys.
Thank y'all, too.
Hey, Johnny, we appreciate you.
Hey, y'all get in touch with us at info@jetlending.com.
All right, awesome. Info@jetlending.com. Y'all reach out.
Take care.
All right, Johnny.
Mic's it off.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Thanks for joining us.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
Mike, you're hot.
Welcome back to the show. Daniel Gollinger, Right Path Real Estate Radio. We are calling show 713-785-1817. I won't be giving that out on the last segment if I can remember not to say it. It's good to be back with you guys. It feels like I've been gone forever. For those of you that follow regularly, you know I've been taking my real estate licensing exam classes. I'm going through what I'm calling Hell Week right now, which is I'm taking 5 of the 6 classes in a 9-day stretch. On Monday and Tuesday, I literally had to run out of my daytime class, run to the parking lot, get in my car, speed to pick up my daughter from school, and then basically speed all the way to the other campus because I had a daytime class at one campus and then a nighttime class at another campus. And the daytime class gets out at 4:45. Nighttime class starts at 6. Hello, we're in Houston. It's really hard to get anywhere, but I was able to make it from the West Side campus to Richmond to the Willowbrook area, and still got there with 3 minutes to spare. So was super impressed with myself about that. But my brain has been fried. So I will be wrapping up my 5th class tonight, which is Law of Agency. I would say it's the least exciting class. For me, I like to learn. So, for those of you that like to learn, you can relate to what I'm saying. It's exciting to me. So while parts of it can be boring and things like that, and you're sitting down for a long period of time, learning new stuff, especially if it's in an area that you enjoy learning and it's in an area that you enjoy being knowledgeable in. And for me, I love real estate and everything that goes along with it. So it's been really enjoyable for me to learn a lot of the different aspects of the retail side of the business, because I really haven't had a chance to dive into that. When I first got started in this business, the folks that I was involved with came from an education company here in town that said, you should not get your license because then you have rules that you have to follow, which didn't dawn on me at the time, but it's kind of like, that should have been a red flag, right? Hey, don't get your license because then you have to do the right thing. Which, looking back, it's like, probably wasn't the smartest decision. But, here at Right Path, we encourage our students to take the time to get licensed. If anything, it allows them, especially for the ones that are building a business. Maybe not necessarily for everybody that's in the Asset Buyers Club, because they're not really doing this as a business. But for those folks that are doing this as a business, they're building a wholesaling business, they're building a flipping business, or they want to be actively building a buy and hold business. And by actively building a buy and hold business, I mean they're doing marketing and sales and planning to expand and hire and grow and all that sort of thing. It makes sense for them to have a license because they have access to data that they wouldn't have otherwise. And it's there. You can get access through other folks and things like that, but you're crossing some lines that probably shouldn't be crossed. And we teach our students that. So it was time. Tom was going to get his broker, so I was like, well, you know what? Let's do this all at the same time. Unfortunately, he only had to take 2 classes. I had to take 6, so he got done a lot quicker. But it's been fun, and I'm learning a lot, and it's been super exciting for me. But I can tell you one of the things that I'm realizing is not everybody's operating on the right side of the law. So for those of you that saw the title today, it was, Patten Law Firm, Jet Lending, and Breaking the Law. So I'm realizing that I'm seeing a lot of people in this business that are doing things that they think that they're okay doing. I imagine they're doing them either intentionally or unintentionally. One, they know that they're not supposed to be doing it, and they're doing it anyway, under the premise of, I don't have a license, I don't have to follow the rules, which, I can tell you that there are certain things that license holders have to do in real estate that non-licensed people don't have to do. And I can tell you that you can do certain things as the owner, seller, or buyer of a property that you can't do as an agent, right? So there are things that having a license could prohibit you from doing, not necessarily prohibit you from doing, but to have extra requirements as far as disclosure and things like that, right? So you have to do some extra steps. You have to follow some extra rules and things like that, but that doesn't mean that not having a license makes you exempt from those rules, because while some of them are rules, some of them are laws. And when the Texas Real Estate Commission sets a law, it doesn't matter if you're licensed or not. You still have to abide by that law. And I can tell you one of the biggest things that has stood out to me is seller's disclosure. So, and I'll be honest with you, I was operating illegally as far as seller's disclosures, before I came to work for Tom and his companies, just not knowing any better. And I can tell you that, there's a lot of people in this industry that just don't know any better. But for those of you that are listening right now, wholesalers, fix and flippers, that sort of thing, sellers' disclosures are required on wholesale deals. Sellers' disclosures are required on fix and flips. You have to get a seller's disclosure from the seller. It's the law. Now, there are exceptions to that. There's actually 11 exceptions to that. And I didn't bring my book, but so foreclosure, right, is one. Obviously, if the bank forecloses on a seller, they're not providing a seller's disclosure to the bank. Bankruptcy trustee, any kind of trustee that's selling a house to somebody like at an auction. If you're selling a property that you owned in a company to a partner of your company, or if you are in a fiduciary position like an executor of a will or trustee or something like that, you do not have to do a seller's disclosure. If you are selling it to a spouse or somebody in your family lineage, basically like a parent or grandparent or a child or grandchild, straight up and down lineage, no seller's disclosure is required. If you are signing it over to a spouse in a divorce, there's no seller's disclosure required. What else? I'm probably missing a couple things, but there's 11 reasons why you don't need a seller's disclosure, 11 exemptions, and every other situation is required by law. And not following that opens up not just you if you're involved in that transaction, but your seller there's a liability there. They can, somebody can come back up to 4 years and say, hey, you never told me this. And, which if you don't provide a seller's disclosure, then that's anything, right? There could be any single thing that they want to come back and bring up because there was no seller's disclosure provided. Now, if it's something that, was intentionally left off of a seller's disclosure, same thing can happen and all that. But if you do to the best of your knowledge and, there's no way to prove that you knew about something, then chances are you're safe. But if there's, record of, hey, termite treatment or, something that was fixed that there's record of that you are supposed, because a lot of times it'll say, is there anything, is this wrong right now on the seller's disclosure? Or it'll say, has it ever been wrong?
2 minutes.
And if it's an ever been wrong situation, then you have to answer that truthfully. And if there's records of something out there that you know of and you intentionally leave it off, then you're liable that way as well. So one other thing that I thought was really cool, and it actually got me out of class earlier last night, and I'll tell you how that happened here in just a minute. But another one of the exemptions was if the property is less than 5% of the total value of the property. If the dwelling was less than 5% of the total value of the property, then you do not require seller's disclosure. And the reason for that is because obviously if you think about it, if the house is worth less than 5% of the value of the property, chances are that house is probably not standing, or there's so much wrong with it that you can assume everything's wrong with it, and whoever's buying something that is that messed up, they kind of understand.
1 minute.
Hey, they've got full liability right there. So we were going over these last night in class, in my law of agency class, and it dawned on me, well, hey, what if I've got a house, it's a nice house, right, that's on a 10,000 acre piece of land. Does that happen? I mean, in Texas, I would say sure. So, of course, I raised my hand and asked the teacher, I said, hey, does a house that's not a pile of rubble, that's on a very large piece of land that would make that dwelling less than 5% of the total value, does that qualify as not needing a seller's disclosure? And we had about 35 minutes or so before class was over, and he kind of stopped and he was like, I don't know. And he said, nobody's ever asked me that. And because I stumped him, he kind of didn't want to go any further. And he said, okay, class dismissed. Y'all can go. And everybody kind of just looked, and he was like, no, I'm serious. We're done. So everybody gets up and leaves, and I'm packing my bag up by the door, and people are walking by me. Thank you. we got everybody out about 35 minutes early. So we'll see you guys on the other side of the break. I hope you'll stick with me.
Mics are off.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
So
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process. Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast. No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all. So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for repair is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated. However, Foundation Check utilizes professional
Jason,
engineers
good morning. Phil, good morning. Christina, good morning.
To give you the best foundation analysis in today's market. Remember
Ginger,
to check before ever repair. Call 346-702-3825.
He basically announced it.
Coming back, standby.
Hey, you stumped the teacher. Everybody go home.
This is Business 1110.
Mics are hot.
Welcome back. Daniel Gollinger, Right Path Real Estate Radio, filling in for Tom Perry today. Been a great show for those of you that have hung out with me. I really appreciate your time today. I'll be back in class tonight to take my test for Law of Agency, and then I've got my finance class this Saturday and Sunday. So once I wrap up those 2 tests, I'll be able to, I don't know, there's probably 10 or 12 steps after that you have to send in and get fingerprints and a whole bunch of other kind of stuff that goes along with that. So looking forward to getting that done with and trying to get back to some kind of normal schedule. It's been kind of hectic running around, and, you know, some teachers are, you know, very what reminded me of high school. Not that we really had cell phones when I was in high school, but I can imagine if we did, you know, because I get messages from my kids all throughout the day, and I'll see them pop in here on the radio show, on Facebook watching and things like that. And I'm like, aren't you in history right now? What are you doing? So I can imagine what it's like in a high school with every kid having a cell phone. But some of the teachers are very strict about that sort of thing during class. They don't want you checking your text messages. They don't want you looking at your phone. And if they see you on it, they're going to call you out and tell you to put it up. And other teachers are just kind of laid back, and it's like, hey, you paid to be here. If you don't pass the test, that's on you. You know, that sort of thing. So, you know, when you're actively marketing properties and trying to sell some wholesale deals and things like that, you know, sneaking under the table, trying to make arrangements for property viewings and showings and things like that with some of my investor buyers and things like that. It's just, it's been pretty hectic. So it reminds me of when I first got started in this business. I got started doing disposition for a investor here in town, and I was doing it part-time just because I was interested in getting involved in real estate. But when I was at my full-time job, I worked in the restaurant industry, a very high-end restaurant, did very well there, and really hated to leave, but it was time to make a move to a new career, and that's what I did. But I can remember literally hiding in the bathroom, negotiating, wholesale deals, and then sneaking out the back door of the kitchen to have somebody, meet me out back by the dumpster to give me a earnest money check and sign an assignment contract and things like that. So it was like I was an undercover agent. So I've kind of experienced that a few times over the past week or so while doing these classes, is trying to still run the business and be able to do it without getting caught by the teacher and that sort of stuff. But I've learned a lot, and I'm really glad that I did it. And if you haven't done it, it's Champion School of Real Estate. I'll give them a little shout out. I've been completely impressed with their setup and how they do things. I tried to do some online schools a couple times before, and not that the online schools were bad or anything. For me personally, there's always something coming up. So
2 minutes.
If I'm not committed to be somewhere on a schedule, then chances are it's not going to get done. It's when you block out time to do your online studying and things like that, you can always reschedule that without having to ask anybody. But when you actually schedule in-class time, it's a little bit different. So glad I finally got it done. Looking forward to finishing up and being able to share some of the knowledge that I learned with our students and that sort of thing. So it's been pretty awesome. So for those of you that were on the webinar last night, hope you enjoyed that webinar. If for some reason you missed it, it was recorded. Shoot me an email at support@rightpathrealestate.com. I will get you a copy, a link or something along those lines. We haven't got that far in the process yet, but I'll get you a way to be able to watch that webinar if you missed it.
1 minute.
Just shoot me an email at support@rightpathrealestate.com. For those of you that are in the area today, we are doing a wealthy real estate workshop at 12 o'clock right here at the office. That'll be done by Tom himself. If you want to get registered for that, you can go to rightpathrealestate.com and register for our Thursday noon event. Or if you want to just shoot me a quick email at support@rightpathrealestate.com, I can get you registered that way as well. So look forward to seeing you folks today. And for everybody
30
else,
seconds, start wrapping up.
It's been a great week, and glad that you guys have been able to hang out with us. And Tom and I will be on the show tomorrow morning, talking some more real estate.
Let's start talking.
Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.
Mics are off.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Find Tom at rightpathrealestate.com. You can put the fear behind you and listen every day from 9 to 10 a.m. on Business 1110 KTEK.
This is Tom Perry with Right Path Real Estate. Most people lack control of their financial future. We help people create wealth through real estate. Whether you're experienced or just getting started, we talk about the things you need to know to be successful in the Houston real estate market. We talk about how to buy, fix, and flip, wholesale, and buy and hold in single family. We have a plan for you to be able to retire in 5 years or less. Go to rightpathrealestate.com and let us help you have confidence in your future. Don't miss Right Path Real Estate Radio at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday on Business 1110 KTEK.
My mom's a breast